Hello everybody, welcome to another stream. How we doing? Welcome. So today we're gonna improve the text rendering and also the theme. Because the theme is something that was just chucked in. So yeah, it's very horrible. So why don't we probably start making this theme better, and then we're gonna add proper text rendering and get rid of this fixed size font. Hey Rohan, how's it going? It's been a while. How you been? How's it been going? Um, yeah, I wonder what sort of colors I should do for this. We could just do... Why don't we take the theme colors? And, yeah. I might... Um, hmm. Right, I wonder how I should start today. Yeah. I'm gonna do. So where's my theme? Style. Right, here we go. So open that up in a new tab as well. I got an idea. Yeah. Okay. Right, hello everyone, welcome to another devlog. So in today's stream, what I want to do is really sort out this user interface and make it look a lot nicer because we're going to be using it a whole lot. So the first thing I want to sort out is the theme, and then we're going to do the text rendering and improve the font rendering. So obviously with the theme, these were just colors I initially chucked in just to show that the UI rendering can work, but we've now built UI with it. So yeah, this can just be drastically improved. But when it comes to the font rendering, again, I just wanted to get something up and running and working and put some text quickly on the screen. But now I've got some proper UI. We've got to move away from this fixed sized font. This is 10 by 10 pixels for each glyph. And so obviously when things are at not 10 by 10, like this, it doesn't look very nice. And there's also much nicer looking fonts as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in STB TrueType and implement a way to implement a glyph texture cache, which will rasterize the glyphs to whatever size they need to be rendered at into some image. So we're just going to sort out the theme now, and then we'll get into that. Yeah, maybe I'll do one more take. Maybe that's all right. Let's do one more so I can pick and choose. Hello everyone, welcome to another devlog. So we've built this nice texture viewer or screenshot viewer as well. But the issue is the theme is kind of horrible and so is the text rendering. So what I want to do is tackle the colors and just make sure they're just a lot nicer. And then what we're going to do after that is get rid of this fixed size font. And we're going to replace it with a STB TrueType and do a proper glyph cache and that sort of system. So let's get into the theming and sort that out now. There we go. Much quicker, less faff. Took some inspiration from your project, so I was busy doing stuff with FPGAs and graphics. Incredible. Done rasterizing triangle so far on its play. Oh my days. That's all the stuff I want to do. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I've decided my son is going to be a electrical engineer or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but his He's going to make CPUs and GPUs, and I will write software. Yeah, he's in bed at the moment, my son. Yeah, he's in bed. He's on this monitor. He's fast asleep, and is about 10 months old. But yeah, that is his job when he's older. Gonna be good. Hey there, Chandu. How's it going? Welcome back. How old am I? 29. Not quite 30 yet. So for the UI, what we have is this UI style which gets passed into any time we make a widget. So there's some sort of like shared state or shared styles, and then there's also styles particularly depending on what the widget state is. So it could be no state, it could be focused, it could be active, and then there's different colors. So basically these are different colors because we don't want to change the width, like the margin and padding based on the state. So effectively I'm just going to go and change all these ones which are color 32 and probably adjust maybe the radius and the margin and padding, I guess, just to make things just look a lot nicer. Right, people can pause the video if they want and look at that. Maybe I can go through a bit cleaner. Let's do it again one more time. Right, so in the UI, we basically pass around this UI style, and this goes in anytime we make a widget, we pass this in via a pointer, and it's shared amongst a bunch of widgets. So all of this state, like we don't have a UI library, so I don't have to worry about having all this style information, you know, be able to support all these new widgets that we haven't thought about. All of the widgets that we've thought about are simply inside this data structure. So we've got like the margin and padding and a bunch of stuff which is independent of which state it's in. But we have style state and we have an array of states. So if it's focused, it gets a different state. If it's active, it gets a different state. So these are different colors on how the things need to appear, basically. So we're just going to go ahead and adjust all the ones which are color 32, and just to make a nicer theme, and maybe adjust some of the margin and paddings as well. Cool, that's better. Everyone getting married, having kids? Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty 50-50 these days, isn't it? But yeah. Right. So colors. So we could just do black, white. We could just have 3 colors right now. Sorry, 4 shades of black and white. Or we can... Oh no, that's what I was going to do. I was going to take my theme. Or the theme we're using, isn't it? So let's figure out how we get those theme colors. .config neovim colors. No. We could iceberg it, but then it's a bunch of blue in our face. Right, I guess it's on the config folder. Is it in the state folder? Where are the neovim themes located? Or plugins? .local, that's it. Scattered everywhere. It might be state. It's probably shared though. That's it. Ascent. That's it. Colors. Right. They're in here somewhere. Oh, they're all here. Sweet. So red, orange. I didn't realize there's a green. I guess it's that green down there. But yeah, so all we want is probably the... I don't know, maybe it's a bit bright. Maybe we need something a bit darker. Where's the background though? Or is that my own custom thing? I think it is. I think I changed it and put a different background. Think so. Yeah, the problem is if I... Hmm. I wonder what I can do with these colors then. Yeah, just how much different will it look if we style it? Um, Maybe we just make it black and white. It's probably the easiest thing to do. Because I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let's just start with black and white and we can probably take it from there. So the key ones to change is... So maybe we won't go completely black, but let's get the... In core shared, I think we have some colors. Right. There's no black? Right, I got an idea. Um, so that's grey 8. And there's 16 greys or something like that. Yep. Grey 9. Grey A. Grey B. Grey C. Grey D. Grey E. And grey F. Cool. That's alright. Maybe grey F could just go and we just have white. Um, Actually, I am The graphics and C noob, along with maths, want to know how much maths is involved in here. How much maths that's involved in doing graphics programming or C programming? What specifically? Like, hey Ashton, dude, isn't it necessary to represent colors as hexadecimal values instead of integers in macros? What do you mean, like an RGB? Like, this is just more compact and it's also already RGB. So, there's R, there's G, there's B, there's A. Like, it's just that. Like, by putting in a macro, it's just more fiddly. Like, you know, yeah. So, and it is that way because in memory, that's how RGB A formats are. They're kind of back to front in hex format. Yeah. Specifically in my program. Okay, so for it's not really any more specific, but sure. So, basically, C programming. There's not really lots of maths, like hardcore maths involved. There is a little bit, but what I tend to do is I learn maths through programming. So whenever I need to learn about any maths, I understand it via the lens of programming. I won't bother asking as an excuse to be like, oh, I don't want to program this anymore because it involves maths. Like, unfortunately, with like more hardcore rendering, it does require knowledge of maths. But there's plenty of resources now where people break it down and sort of go over it in a very easy to understand way. And it just takes watching or reading those things many times for it to sort of like, to understand it. But yeah, that is basically maths in computing. It is there's not that much in C per se, but it's when you do graphics programming, yes, there is a bit of maths. And I guess in 3D game development, you need to know about vectors and matrices and quaternions. But you don't necessarily need to know how they work. You just need to know how to use them in code. And you can learn how they work later on when that interests you, because it will probably interest you when you know how to use them. You'll be like, oh, but how does that work? How does that even, and then you will go and look into that. So that's basically it. Can we do a color palette generator for a given color depth instead of macros? Color depth instead of macros. What do you mean by color depth? Oh, right, okay. Huh. I'm not sure you mean what. So these are here for me, so I can sort of just punch in something. But yeah, I guess while I'm the only person who's working on this project, it would just be me making these sort of macro things. But what do you mean by color palette generator? What does that mean exactly? Right, so the backgrounds are probably going to be mostly grey, mostly black, so dark grey. So let's just get that in. Foreground is going to be white, put it that way. Or we might do mostly white. Let's do an either, the one, right? Yeah, alpha's at the beginning in hexadecimal. It's just back to front to what you would do on like a website. A, B, G, R. It's not showing up in that. The oh well. This is the way. Um, so what is this? Scroll bar. Scroll bar background. I guess it can be the same background color for now. Foreground. I guess that could be the same. The border. Maybe we can do something like a wait, we don't want all of them to be super bright. So maybe that could be A. And we can up it by two levels or something when you click it. When you hover over it. So what's going on here? The border color. Where's the scroll bar? Right, let's make that an E. What is... Whoops. Right, where's the scroll bar? Where's the scroll bar? Here's one. Is there a scroll bar foreground even used in anything? Huh? No. Yeah, it makes no sense. Just get rid of it. It's confusing. Sweet. Okay, so now we can carry on. A split grip. So in a none state, it's probably just going to be an A and an A on that one. It's to do with big and little endian. I imagine it is. There's a Wikipedia article on it. But if you're on a little endian platform, it's the same as on a big endian, I think. Actually, no, it might be a little endian thing, actually. I'm not, I haven't thought about it that much. Yeah, it might be a big endian thing then. Is the other way around, yeah. I mean, color combination is more elegant colors in UI. Yeah. I'm not sure I understand, Rohan. But yeah, I guess it would take a lot of time for me to figure out a good color palette. So for now, I just want to pick one which doesn't look so damn ugly. And I guess it could be themable from a file at some point, but I don't need that yet. So when you focus on it, we probably want to take these ones, and then we probably want to adjust the, probably want to up it by 3. Actually, it's sRGB, so it's going to come out different. The lower one should go up by 3, and these ones should probably go up by 2. Because you'll notice they'll make a very noticeable difference, I think. Right, so let's see that in action. shoot, what did I do? Oh, is there a theme in here as well? Oh, it's a bunch of test code. That test code could probably go now. So the scroll bar, yeah. Sorry, I can go. Okay, so we've added... Yeah, that's kind of right. And then I just need to make it full on bright. The problem is though, I don't want to get rid of the white text. When you click on it, maybe, yeah, because it'll be active and that. So we've got to be careful by how much we increase on this stuff by. Where the hell am I at? Right. So when you become active, see maybe the background went up by a little bit too much. All right. So we copy paste this. This will go up to probably E. And these go up to 5. Right, then disabled is basically going to be this one below more dimmer. So it'd be black, like proper black. Then foreground color, we might bring it down to like an 8 maybe. There's a few disabled ones in the in here. These two are disabled, but you can't really tell. Why is the border still like a blue? Actually, we haven't been changing border color the whole time. Whoops. So that would help distinguish what's going on. Whoops. Border in this case is gonna have to be probably a... Oh, it's just A. Yeah. So that would be an 8. E. C. Okay, let's give that a go. Hey Dora, how's it going? Need more here. There we go, black and white theme. When the colors annoy you, black and white. So the issue is these borders need to be a bit dimmer if they're disabled. Is there a slider somewhere? Oh, what? UI slider, what is that using? Right, it's using the foreground color apparently. Yeah, so for disabled, we want to make the border dimmer. So let's pick probably like a 5. Yeah. Part of it's a me problem as well, I'm quite tired. I'm also getting quite warm. I need to open up a window. But yeah, that's dimmer now because it's disabled. It's good. These things are still like red. We'll sort that out. But yeah, it's getting better. We can just stick with black and white for now. Um, we should make these themes more global as well. Ooh. Damn it. My headphones are breaking. How dare thee. But how's it going, Dora? How you been? What you been up to? In West London here, not very warm. For me, unfortunately. I don't know, I find it quite warm in my room at least. I'm in a new build now, and the insulation is quite good. I'm in a small room. So all I need to do is turn on a computer and it gets warm in here. It's great for winter, but like summertime, yeah, it gets a bit too much. Yeah, so it can make way better, innit? Yeah, not really one compile. There's been a few compiles, but yeah, it's been. Yeah, it's much better. We've still got to fix up the. What else have we got to fix up exactly? Oh yeah, these red things. So the carrot color, color. Make it this one. Progress bar color. Let's make it that one. Where else are the other colors coming from? What are those things? Oh, it was in the no box style, wasn't it? Right, let's look at that combo box. Like, what is going on with that one? State style. Color red, blue. Why did I do that? Breaking my theme, man. Is there a specific like thing I want to add? State style. Well, okay, so it could probably go on the Is there any sort of colors I can reuse? What BGs have we got? There's a BG color. Yeah, background, foreground, maybe. Or maybe we take the border color. Yeah, border color. So style, border color. No. Right, state, style, border color, and then state, style, foreground. Maybe more specifically, we can put these as yeah, their own specific ones. Yeah, color. I just used the American one because it's one letter shorter. It's the only reason why. Right, that seems to be alright, doesn't it? It's usable. Just get blinded by the textures now. Alright, it's much better. So I just got to take that theme and make it accessible to every part in the code. Every part of the code. So unfortunately, see, this is where I think whenever we've done the graphics, stuff, and I'm like, this is it. I need to think about the structure of this game, because right now there's no separation between like an engine and the game. This is engine. This is technically engine, the UI, right? Even though it's kind of going to be tailored specifically towards the game, it's still, you still want the separation because there's going to be a game UI layer where it uses this UI library, and you want to keep those separate. But maybe I don't, right? But yeah, I need a place basically where anywhere in the, you know what? Maybe I just make a black-white theme, and I'll just put it in the UI header for now, because I've already got the no style or zero style, so I don't need to say black-white box, no box. Right, and we'll just put it inside the UI library for now, or library, or whatever, right? You know, call it. We'll just chuck it in there, and then we can from there. Okay, so we can change all like the thicknesses and stuff. I might want to make them like 2 instead of 4. I think it gets a bit much. I think it's a bit like 4 padding. It's great for like a touch screen, but like for a desktop app, it's probably like way too much. I don't know. Maybe we can look at them now. Checkbox padding. Yeah. Slider bar height. What does that mean? Bar. I don't know. Let's change it anyway. Right. Let's see how that looks. Oh wait, we didn't actually switch to use it. 2 seconds. Right, all these ones that use box style is now UI box style. UI style box. Okay. UI style box. All of the UI. Right. Let's try that out. Oh, what have we done? Oh, we changed. Oh, my days. Past Henry. But future Henry is gonna fix it, or present Henry is gonna fix it. Oh, this was actually really bad. Don't do this. Wait, we're fixing this anyway. We can get rid of this because we're doing proper font rendering today. So it doesn't matter if they're too big. Right. UI style box. I'm using SDL for this stuff or built everything from scratch. Yeah, so SDL is a great library to if you want to just make your own game engine without doing all the platformy stuff. This is the first time where I've not used SDL, so we've written it all from scratch basically. My only problems with SDL is it takes a lot of time to build, and it doesn't support multiple keyboards and multiple mice, and that's something I wanted to do anyway. Yeah. So I've added that now. Hey Meatball, how's it going? I see Henry's Windows message loop. how he handles frame rate handling. Oh, you want to see how to do the Windows message loop? The Windows message loop is not done very well. Because on the Windows message loop, you should probably handle that in another thread. I think there's ways of handling it. And mine is, so I think mine will freeze the window when you drag the title bar, which is not a good thing. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, what's the message loop called again? Yeah, so I peek message. So when I poll events, I peek a message, and then I do the translate and dispatch message, and this will in turn call all of the all of the or that handler, isn't it? Whatever it's called. There's a handler somewhere. Yeah, the window proc, where you put all your handlers in. What is this? Oh, I didn't do the HID version. Yeah, I did the other one because there's too much effort doing HID. It is pretty bad. Uh, you do know what that Windows does not always go through the message queue, yes? Does it sometimes call your WinProc directly? Oh. When does it do that? I did not know this. That's good to know. Man, Windows. No, when you resize the window, from what I know, it from when I studied the crying out loud, I closed it. When I studied the call stack, what happens is as soon as you call dispatch message, and then it comes across a WM resize. Is that right? Crying out loud. WM something. What happens is, from what my understanding, is that where is it? Maybe I don't handle it properly. Oh wait, did I do a thing? Oh yeah, mine's probably quite bad. I wouldn't trust this code. Yeah, I think I tried to get, yeah. But yeah, it basically, like, when it uses the WM resize, what it'll do is it will, like, start its own message loop. It will do its own message loop of, like, translate and dispatch inside the message loop, inside your WinProc. So from my understanding, you trigger, or you start when you start parsing the resize, it will get stuck inside of another message loop, and from there, it will call your WinProc. Yeah, so I guess you're right in the sense that you always don't call it, but it's always from within your message loop, from what I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I'd never understand it, but yeah, my Windows implementation needs to be made better. There's definitely holes in my thing. It calls WinProc before returning from it. Oh yeah. You can go back into it. Yeah. It handles that fine. But yeah, I remember it didn't before, and that was a big issue. It's so weird. It is one of the weirdest APIs I've ever seen. Right, so this is in there now, so we can use. That's way better already, isn't it? But where's my arrows? Because we've got less thickness now. It's like 2 pixels. Well, it's actually like. Yeah, that's way better. But what is going on here? Why can't I see? Where's the drawing? Line, foreground, foreground. Oh, is the foreground and the border the same? Whoops. That ain't good. Foreground. Yeah, foreground and border is the same. Whoops. Um, what's a different color that's not the background? There isn't. You know, we'll just make our own, I think. Hmm. Uh, you know, maybe we could use the background. I think it's possible. We can just use the background here because the foreground will, the background will be the border color. Yeah. Yeah, I think Casey did like a few examples on how to do it properly. Or gave examples of them at least. Does X11 make you free memory? Oh, I didn't realize it expects you to free it. Maybe I got some memory leaks. I didn't know that. Have you got any specific examples? Because or maybe I do free them. Yeah, that's basically the way of Linux, isn't it? Standard library, everything. There we go, we've got an arrow at least. Ought to be good enough. So that's really nice. Let's move this into the yeah, let's move this into the actual where is it? Graphics. We do it here as well. Alright. Now there's a no box style. I remember seeing that one. Now for no box, what did this do again? So it did no margin, no padding. And the background was yeah, I guess let's take this and just modify it quick. Style, no box. Isn't that just the same as a zero style though? No, but you want some form of foreground color, I think. So, yeah. Carrot color. I saw these colors quick, so it's just transparent, fully opaque. Yeah, the border doesn't actually matter. Let's just clear it anyway. Split group, right. So, let's just clear all these boys and girls out. Nearly there. Don't know why there's a green there, to be honest. It might not be visible anyway, but let's just do that anyway. Cool. Yeah, so let's use that no box style in and get rid of the local. Oh, we got rid of the local one. No box. Here we go. So it's UI style no box. Great. So now all of these are sort of globally available everywhere. There we go. And it's just a much better theme. Yeah, so much better theming there. These are really big though. They can actually be made a lot smaller now. Yes, things to sort out. Right. So in here, we'll do some cuts. We can now probably bring this down to maybe 40. Made it a lot less, so maybe. Yeah, that's better. Cool. That was maybe 30 better. There we go. Cool. Right, let's record that quick. Right, so now we're going to change the themes here. So you'll notice basically we're just going to go over black and white one because I spent too much time trying to find the perfect colors. But for now, as you can tell, this whole texture viewer, screenshot view is all just basically in black and white. And it's a lot more pleasing on the eyes until I guess we view some screenshots or whatever that we've taken. But other than that, yeah, it's much nicer. So let's do the font rendering now. Cool. All right, maybe we'll do one more take just in case. 2 takes. Right, so as you can tell now we've gone with like a black-white theme. It's just going to be a lot easier to implement rather than trying to find the perfect colors. So yeah, the texture view works as expected. So now we're going to focus on working on that glyph cache, and you know, the first take was better. Note to future Henry, first take was better. Right, that's cool. So let's go and do this font viewing thing now. So we're going to be using STB TrueType, like any sane individual. Reasons not to use STB TrueType is that I think it's not tested. No security guarantee. Don't use it on untrusted fonts. we're going to be using, yeah, it's just a lot easier to use and integrate. It's one that I've used in the past. But there's also free type. Free type is pretty cross-platform from what I know, but I've never used it personally. But yeah, we're just gonna use this to be true type because it's just be easier. So we're gonna go ahead and get that in the third party, I think. Yeah, with all the other boys and girls. Right, I just realized I'm out of water. It's gonna fetch some water and then we'll get working on this texture cache or glyph cache. Right, welcome back everybody. How's it going? What? What's that Meeple one? I don't understand what you're saying. Henry's gonna like the computer owes him money, right? Huh? Oh. Oh. I was thirsty. Yeah, man. Seriously. Yeah, this is what I'm into, man. And I'm not a quitter. But yeah, it'd just be good to, you know, achieve something with this project, so I just want to, you know, keep doing it. Hmm? Yeah, Fabian. Yeah, he's written a lot of stuff. Yeah. He's got some blogs and stuff, right? Works at Red, I think. Right. Okay, so the first thing we need to do when we want to render some text is we need to have it pre-rendered into a texture on the GPU. So this is one that we've uploaded to the GPU in the past, and it is a fixed width 10 by 10 pixel bitmap. That's what we use to render our text at the moment. But yeah, when we render at different sizes other than 10 by 10 or integer scaling of 10 by 10, it looks bad. So we need to make our own texture, which gets glyphs pre-rendered from the CPU. So to do that, we're going to be using STB TrueType, and yeah, we're just going to make our own glyph cache using all the tooling within there. So let's get started on that now. I forgot actually, we probably want to have the rectangle packer, but doesn't it come with a rect packer? Improve 3D API more shippable. Optional, but you really want it. Okay. Yeah, but you can do it manually, right? I'll be doing it manually. I don't know if pack begin, pack end. Yeah, I think I might manually use the packer and do it because it's not too bad. Rectangle packer. Yeah, so I think what we're going to start off by doing is having a texture. Make a texture. That's like 2k squared. And then yeah, I think we need glyph texture cache, or glyph cache texture ID. Voila. So I think in the UI we'll put a thing. We'll have another constant. And we'll call it glyph cache dim. Right, 2D sample RGBA. Sweet. Is someone akin to God or Sith or something? Has written a crap ton of code for demos, demos, that is. Awesome. Yeah, maybe so. I think it's 10 by 10. Yeah. Awesome. I've never seen his demo code stuff though. Yeah, I think C is all over the place. Each operating system does it differently. But yeah, it's mostly up to you. It's not like Rust where it's been thought about from the beginning. I think in the Unix style, everything is basically snake case. But yeah, variations of snake case and screaming snake case. Right, so now I have my texture viewer. Things are a lot easier just to view. Where is it? Huh? Did I not see it there? Ah, here we go. Okay, so we've added a new texture called the glyph cache texture. And right now it is completely uninitialized memory, so it's a bunch of randomness. But it's 2K by it's a 2K squared texture. And from here we're gonna get all of the glyphs, all of the characters or glyphs that we've tried to render this frame. And if they're not in the texture cache or the glyph cache, let's do that one again. Right, so we've added this glyph cache texture here. And right now it's a bunch of uninitialized memory, but it's 2K squared. And what we're going to do is when we go to render the UI, every time we try and render a piece of text, we'll go over all the characters and get the glyphs for those and be like, is this glyph in the glyph cache with this font at this size? And if those two things are not together, are not in there, then we will have to render a glyph with that font at that size inside the glyph cache. So let's work on trying to get that working before we change any of the rendering code to use this new system. Let's just see if we can visualize it in this texture viewer and just get it to work there. Awesome. That was a good take. So yeah, let's do that. So the first thing you want to do, is uninitialized memory. It might not be an issue. That's okay. So I think I actually want to get the rectangle pack library. I've not seen this API. Well, I've not used it rather, I just use the rectangle pack. Begin, end, and then pack font range. Well, this could be quite easy actually. The packing context. But can it restart? Initializes the packing context. Future calls to this will pack characters into the bitmap past. Uh, you see, so this can do like a range of glyphs. So yeah, I think in the past I just used the rectangle pack library manually. I also had written my own in the past, but I don't mind using this one. This one's fine from what I remember. So there's a context. Yeah. Right, is that how simple the API is? No, it's not, right? I guess it is pack rectangles. Right, yeah. So do you have to clear the context in any way then? But how do you remove rectangles from the packing? Active head, free head. Right, so you put all the possible nodes in here. Initialize rectangle packer. Pack a rectangle with width height dimensions. Using temporary storage of nodes. You must call this function every time you start packing into a new target. Into a new target. Yeah, so I guess you give it all the possible nodes that you want. And a node, is that a rectangle? What is a node? Ah, it's here. Good, 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 good. So, right, it's the linked list. Um, so we need, so you have a bunch of nodes for it to use. And I guess that's, yeah, it'll set up a free list whenever you call initialize, I imagine. Um, just stays valid for the following calls. It can be freed afterwards. How do you free a node though? Let's look at that free head. Init target, yeah, it puts it to start the array as you would expect. It probably goes over all of them. Well, no, it doesn't go over all of them. Yes, when did... Right, free node next. That's some packing. I wonder when it sets it. Because you want to free up a space, like space in this texture. Like, why is there no sort of like way to? Hmm. Oh, so there's no way to like free a node back. Okay. You right. Hmm. So I wonder how. Say if you start filling up this texture with a bunch of glyphs with different font sizes, how? I guess you just when you fill it up, you just clear it and then start over again. But then you have a frame of like missing glyphs, which is not good. Ah. Rectangles that successfully packed have the... Right, okay. Assign packed locations to rectangles. Rectangles are a type. This defined below. So an array of rectangles. Right. The rectangles successfully packed. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Bottom left coordinates. Oh yeah. You should try not to access the rectangles array from another thread. Cool. pack another rectangle, you need to call in it again to continue packing into the same rectangle. Call this function again, call it multiple times. Right. So you have to call initialize target again to continue packing into the same rectangle. Oh, right, and then, okay, yeah. So you can keep calling this multiple times to pack different rectangles. Okay. But if you're gonna reset it again, okay. Yeah, I just wonder how I'm gonna end up repacking. Because if you have a rectangle and you've sort of packed some other rectangles in there, let's draw it. The way I've done rectangle packing in the past is I've just done, yeah. So realistically, I only need ASCII, so I could just pre-pack all of those, and maybe that's good enough. Yeah, so I've done rectangle packing the glyphs in the past. It was just taking the height, and you get that one, and maybe your next one is this big. So the remainder is here, and you just keep cutting to the left. And if it fits in here, even if it's like super small, you just keep cutting to the left. Keep cutting. But if one doesn't fit vertically into there, you just do another one here and it might be bigger. But yeah. And I guess when you free it back, you're freeing back the bigger rectangle. But yeah, I don't know. And you have a free list you can go over. But but I wonder what we could do. The other way of doing it is every frame you just re-upload all your glyphs in there again. But I think what we could do is we're only getting. So on the CPU, you render all the glyphs you're using on the screen, and then you put those up. It just doesn't make any. What's the best answer when they ask for salary expectations? Well, the best answer is just to be honest, I guess, right? Probably the number one answer when you're looking for a job is just be honest. With anything, really. Like, you want a job where, you know, you want trust in a job. You want to be, you don't want to lie and be around people who you don't want to be around, right? So a lot of it comes down to just being honest. So if you need a certain salary for reasons, say you need that salary for these reasons. You know, you can say like, yeah, I can't really, I guess, give any more advice than that. Just be honest with what you want and why you want it. Yeah, that's another good point as well. Look around. Yeah, look around for positions in your area. That's another key thing. Area is a big play. I guess if you're doing a remote job, it might be a bit different, but yeah. Um, but just be careful not to undershoot too much and be careful not to overshoot too much as well. Um, because if you undershoot, you look like you don't know what you're talking about. If you under overshoot, you may look like you don't know what you're talking about. But if you overshoot, you definitely look like you by too much. You you do look like you've been a bit too greedy, and people would probably be like, "Well, this person doesn't want to work here because they need all of this money, and we can't give them that much money." Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Honesty is the way. So the the great thing about this API is when we well, is it the great thing? I gotta think of this now as well, damn it. Thinking time. So we do text drawing, we take the string right away when you say, hey, put a bit of text on the screen. And we go and make a draw for it and put it in the array. And we put glyph ID in there. We can always patch the glyph IDs later. I'm not fussed about that. That probably isn't that bad. We can always patch those. So we can go over, hey, these are all the glyphs I'm going to be using. We can put those in, we can deduplicate those, put them in a nice array. When we have that array, we can be like, we can say, did this fill up? Yes, there's two things we could do. And then this will work with the rectangle pack API. We can go over, we can try and add it. Try and add to existing glyph cache, right? Okay. And then if this thing gets filled up, right? Yeah, we're trying to add it to existing glyph cache. If it gets filled up, mark as blow it all away, right? Now the other thing that we also do is we always deduplicate all font plus glyph pairs into an array. We always do that. And then at the end of the frame, I'll try and add to existing glyph cache, store glyph ID and wait, no. Store pointer to store pointer to draw glyph ID with a sort of like a font plus glyph pair, so it can fetch that later. So we can patch it. so we can patch this later. Right, here we go. If blow it all away, then we repack. Then we repack all deduplicated pairs into the glyph cache. I guess if this fails, we just have missing glyphs, right? If this fails, we just have missing glyphs. And we'll be sure to put a missing glyph in there or something like that. Or maybe just be a black square, transparent square. I don't know. Else, basically, we simply just add all the ones which were new, right? Repack and render rasterize. Sorry, rasterize. I guess it's just render, isn't it? Render glyphs. Render only the new glyphs into the glyph cache. Right? And then after that, patch all glyphs. Yeah, so there need to be two different arrays. A new glyph. Yeah, there'll be two arrays here. Patch all glyphs with all draw glyphs with the glyph ID into the glyph cache or whatever, right? Okay. This is probably the way we're going to do it. One array for all glyphs, another for just the new ones. Yeah. Another. Here's a dumb question to ask. Then what's the budget for this role? It might be, they might refuse to answer that question. The one I just thought might be a good one would be, what do you consider a fair salary position? Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think it more leans down the side of a dumb question, because I think they're asking you of basically what you want. That's what they're asking you. And if you say, but what do you want? You're sort of like, yeah, it's not really answering their question. And and employers are kind of, they're a bit sort of, they've got their hands, they're sort of like, they're hiding their cards, and they want to know, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would. Yeah, you got to go in there like you know what you want and be sure. It's probably better. I guess it really depends on the employer, but more likely than not, that is probably the way it is. Yeah, because they've got what their expectations are. They're used to a lot more on websites. Go, okay, this job is going to pay this much money, or around about that, and that was probably negotiable, right? But now they just hide it because they know they can. There's probably for two reasons. Well, there's a few reasons why they probably hide it. But yeah, I reckon it's best you you have your own answer. Am I comfortable with trig? Not really. I get the idea of it. There's like a lookup table of things you need to remember. But yeah. If you're gonna go from one, you gotta know like, hey, I have this thing and that thing. I don't want to get that thing. Like Sokotora and that. Yeah. Yeah, I know when to use it, but also you're better off with learning linear algebra because it's a lot better for computers and it's also a lot easier to remember. Like the dot product and has a reproject if you have like a normalized vector. If you have a normalized vector and if you have, yeah, the dot product, those are much better things to try and use. But sometimes you have to resort to trigonometry. Yeah, sine and cosine can also be used for doing the outline of a sphere and stuff like that. Yeah, I think Meatball 1, Chandu's not really too familiar with maths. And he probably doesn't understand sine and cosine. Sine and cosine also are a magic resource, right? This is what's magic about them. I could put anything into sine, and it always gives me a value between -1 to 1. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So as I increase x, it will sort of produce a value that goes like that. This being 1 up here, this being -1. And as you increase x, it goes up like that and down like that. Isn't that amazing? Cosine is just sine +1, I think. Something like that. Yeah. So it's just this graph shifted along a bit. So these things are magic for that reason. No. Yeah, because is that right? There we go. Thank you. See, my maths ain't that great. Sin x, get ready. Pi. Ooh, divide by 2, right? Yep. So pi is like, take x. Interesting. Yeah, that's what cosine is. Yeah, you always have to put pi in there when you're dealing with sine and cosine. Bit of pi. If not, you're missing out. So yeah, pi is like half a circle in it. Shifted forward by pi. Yeah, by half pi. Isn't that just +1 though? Just. No. Isn't it just? Maybe. Oh no, it isn't. Sorry. Yeah. I see. Yeah. Because x. Right. Yeah. I see it now. Basically, what I'm saying is that. That's what I'm thinking. Or something like this. Wait. I don't even know anymore. I'm confused. Maths is confusing. But yeah. That was horribly wrong. Great. You will see how one is phase shifted by. Yeah, I understand it. But yeah. The sine and cosine waves. Yeah, it's just shifted along. Boom. Check. Yeah, that's what's magic about sine and cosine. They're amazing. You can get one with. Oh, interesting. Oh no, it won't be +1 because it goes to -1 to 1. Right. Yeah. Of course it won't be +1. That's horribly wrong. I see it now. Yeah, it does that. It does that. There's a bunch of maths lurkers. Every time. Every time I say something horribly wrong about maths. Hmm. But it's good sometimes because it educates me. But yeah, I think this is the plan. This is a good plan. So we use the rectangle packer. Oh. Yeah, I think they are bold, but with the also with the time variable, I think. Pretty sure. Oh, right. So let's get this rectangle packer in here. All the STB libraries, let's go. Bum 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 bum. Right, so try to add the glyphs to the glyph cache. If it gets filled up, we're going to mark it all's blow away. Right, deduplicate all font glyph pairs into an array. Do we need that for the new ones? We need that separately for the new. Do we need two different arrays? Store. Yeah, because you only render the new glyphs, right? Okay. Into two arrays. One for all glyphs, and one just for the new one. Oh no. Yeah, one for just the new ones. So if you come across a glyph, you duplicate the pair. Yeah. One for all existing glyphs in the glyph cache. Okay. Store pointer to draw glyph IDs. Yeah, it's the draw glyph ID that you've just put in. So we can patch this layer. One array for all existing glyphs in the glyph cache and one just for the new ones. Right. If we blow it all away, this is at the end of a frame. Repack and render all deduplicate pairs into the glyph cache. all new glyph font plus glyph pairs into the glyph cache. If this fails, we just have a missing glyph. Render all the new glyph pairs into the glyph cache. Patch all the draw glyphs. So depending on if we so there needs to be 2 arrays, one for the existing ones. Yeah. So this patches all patch new draw glyphs. Excellent. So that I think is the solution. Oh, it just uses a position. Yeah. Nice hacks. Yeah, my shaded toy doesn't work in this browser. It does in Firefox though. Oops. Right, I've just heard my wife come home. I'm just gonna give her the baby monitor. Because she'll come in for that. BRB. Right, welcome back. So the next thing, what is the next thing that we want to do? Do I want to record this and mention these things? The last thing I mentioned is about trying to fill up this glyph cache thing. So we should probably just start with, if we go in some chronological order, we probably want to like include this SDB true type thing and get, so we're doing the main folder, main file. And then we probably actually want to just get it initialized with some font. So, true type implementation. Yeah, good. Okay, so now that's in the code, we want to probably get a font. So, right. We need to find Liberation Mono. We want this font. This is made by Red Hat and it's free and available and it supports all types of good stuff. So this will do for now. And a true type. Let's get these boys and girls in there. Regular, bold. Right, let's just put them all in there. They're only a few meg or whatever. That's alright, isn't it? No, Ubuntu Mono. Yeah, that's actually not a bad font. But what license is it under? I This one is is free. Like, I think you just have to put you know, attribution. I think, from what I remember. Right, so we're gonna get this thing initialized. So I think it's just gonna go in the UI library. So we need the internals open as well. Let's get that open too. And I think we shall include stb true type in here. So what we should do is go down to the internal state where everything just gets thrown. And we're going to pass in the stb load a font file from a memory buffer. All right. All right, I got it. TT font info. So I think you get one of these guys. So font wise, we should probably just have an enumeration, right? I don't think we're going to have massive amount of fonts, and because this is our own UI library specific for this game or whatever, we could probably just have an enumeration, right? Let's just keep it simple. I don't think there's going to be custom fonts or whatever, so let's just type def I'll just put them all in there. So we what should we do? So should there be a separate thing that you just select? Probably. So regular. Or maybe should we have different things where you say, hey, this is bold and italic and bold and italic. As these things you can just turn on. And then it would automatically yeah, I'm not sure if we really need to do something like that because I don't really have like a rich text box. Probably never will do. So probably just something as simple as bold, italic, and then bold italic. Ought to be good enough. And then we obviously have a number of fonts, like so. And then we probably also want to have something like a lookup table. A lookup table is going to be something like const char star UI font paths, UI font count, and then we simply just find a place to throw that. And then we just simply fill in all these boys and girls here. So this would then be shoot, assets slash, I think that'll work. Yeah. So assets and then liberation mono camel case or whatever you call it. Got a dash. The style. There's a camel cased in it. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's camel cased. Sweet. So dashed. Yeah, they're camel cased. Then dot ttf. Nice. Wait, 4.6 was released 12 years ago? Ah, I didn't know it was released 12 years ago. What was funny is I remember that when that was around, I guess when it was released then. And I remember when the only cards that would support that was like the new AMD and Nvidia cards, and this was before OpenGL 3.3 core was supported on a whole ton of stuff. And then eventually we started getting OpenGL 3.3 core on like Intel laptops and you know and everything else, right? And some of the old things as well, I think. And then Vulkan rolled around and it was supported on everything, including the old Intel laptops and that. Yeah, interesting times. Yeah, GPU programming's always been a bit weird. Just weird. Right, so we have all the font. So internally we're gonna have this font info, and I think let's SDB TT this thing. Init font. What does that do again? Get me in there. For crying out loud. Right, so font info, take a pointer to it. Cool. Right, so we have an array of these boys. So fonts, UI fonts, and voila. That's just in there somewhere. Cool. Right, so the first thing that we want to do is UI init, and we simply do a for loop over all those super lovely fonts. And we simply say GUI.font font index. That one goes in SDB TT init font. Then it's a path, is it? What is it? Oh, damn it. Data. Whoops. So we need to actually get the... If we've got read... We've got file read all somewhere. Where do I do that? The font texture, where do we do that? Right, font texture. Right, I just use STB image apparently. Whoops. Okay. So I guess we have to use my file thing, which ain't that bad. So it's called like OS file read all. Chuck in the path. Wait. UI font paths. Font index. We then want an out pointer. Wait, how does this allocate memory? Oh, it uses the global allocator, I think. I don't know. Right, good old Boolean. Oh, it uses malloc. I didn't think I had one of these in the code base, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my days. I have a malloc in the code base? And why is this one on Windows And there's one on Linux. Oh. Yeah, it's interesting that they've actually, from what I've heard, been putting lots of extensions into OpenGL still because people are still using it and don't want to switch over to Vulkan because Vulkan is just really complicated. Um, right, so I want to do some form of assertion. And then we just put in the UI font paths of font index. And let's just roll with that for now. So you get your data. Oh, there's examples at the bottom of STB true type. Excellent. Anyway, data then offset. I forgot what offset meant again. Right, given an offset into the file that defines a font, this function builds the necessary cache info for the rest of the system. You must allocate this yourself. Better not be a pointer. I'll read that in a minute. We'll fill that out for you. You don't need anything special to free it because the contents are pure value data, no additional data structures. Oh, good. So I think that offset is used for something else. Well, there could be maybe multiple fonts in there or something. I forget. I forget these things. Sweet. So you initialize the font. It may have more than one font. Each font is sequential index number starting from 0. Right, okay. Great. Cool, this is great. The problem with malloc is that it's it's an API designed in like the 1980s or whatever. It's old. It doesn't have alignment. It doesn't have. It forces you into thinking of, hey, I need to free memory. It forces, you need malloc, you need to free it. Whereas if you have custom allocators, you can do different things, where you can choose to free collections of allocations all at once, and a lot cheaper than freeing one object. There's a great blog post by Ginger Bill, custom allocators. Yeah, the first two are really all you need to read. The rest are more advanced, but it's not really what I would say advanced where it's hard to learn. It's just more advanced in terms of for very specialized use cases, if you will. Hey, Glorious, not bad, not bad. Just yeah. Oh, we got a new theme. Crap. 2 seconds. Got to edit the source code because client can't read comments anymore, apparently. What's going on? Redefinition? Oh, because it defined the damn thing, didn't it? Right, let's not do that. Ooh. Eh. Oh, why aren't you in there? Oh, through. No? What? Yeah, I did misspell it then. But yeah, things are going good, glorious. So we've got a new theme. Did you see it? No, I'm joking. You didn't see it because it crashed. Let's fix that up. Right, we'll show off the theme. Yeah, so it's just black and white. Does the job. Keeps our eyeballs in check, and I've reduced the margin and padding, so it's good. We're working on font rendering. I had to research into STB true types rectangle packer, then I realized it doesn't allow you to free rectangles, so you have to blow it all away. So I was thinking, how do I solve that problem? But I've written a bunch of comments on how to solve that problem now. Yeah, we're just initializing STB true type, getting all of our fonts initialized. It's saying though that it doesn't exist. Yeah, hey range bar. Yeah, it's a media mode UI. It's a Purim GUI, so it's not doing retain mode behind the scenes like sometimes people do. That way we're able to keep it relatively simple. It's still 3,000 lines of code, but yeah, relatively. But we've got like tabbed UIs and everything, and scroll bars, and yeah. So we've got some complicated. Oh, I've got combo boxes as well, layers, and yeah. Oh, I didn't remove the underscore. Don't mind me being a wally. And there we go. Something else to speak about. But the font didn't return. 0 on failure. From disk, failed to initialize font with STB true type. Right, let's give that a go, and we're loaded. Sweet. What is dear? What do you mean? What do you mean? Two, whatever it is. Two. What do you mean? Theorem GUI. Not theorem GUI. What do you mean? Okay, so we've gone and included STB TrueType into our project now. So when we boot up the UI system, we're going over all of our fonts that we've predefined, and we're reading the whole font file into memory, and then we are initializing them with STB TrueType using init font. So we're using the Liberation Mono font because it's freely available. I think you just have to use attribution, right? From what I understand with the license. And we've just included basically all of the different fonts in here. Regular, bold, italic, and bold italic. So now that those are initialized, let's move on to the next step. Cool. Right, what's next? So we've initialized fonts. The next step is to probably have a hash table. Like we need font. We need pairs of. So we basically need a hash table. So we need a hash table of, or it's a key value thingy. So I need a key. Should we call it like a styled glyph? I don't know. Let's just write out the data first. So we want a font. We also want a we want a font. We want a glyph index, if you will. I think you can get those in STB true type, like a glyph index. A font specific integer ID. Yeah. So in a glyph index into the font. We also probably want a height in pixels. So when you render, I forget the API for, is it called rasterize? Um, Subpixel. Yeah, so one of them's subpixel. Get glyph bitmap. Right. Yeah. These are the ones we're going to use. So you basically use scale X, scale Y. Yeah, there's a scale. There's a pixel height to scale, isn't it? Yeah, there's a way to do the scaling. Get these things. There's like a scale factor, maybe. Scale for pixel height, this is it. Hey Jack, how's it going? Font, fonts, it is also free. Yeah, these are good, man. Fonts is, what was that one? Enter. Ooh. I've not seen this one before. Is this one that you use for programming? $877 languages? Insane. Oh, interesting, I'll keep this in mind. Open font license, nice. All commercial. Yeah. You just can't sue him if it blows up your computer. Good terms. Awesome. It's not monospace, so fair play. I keep my eye out on this one though. Yeah, I probably don't want a monospace font for the game in the end though. Yeah, I think it's going alright. I've just been doing a bunch of rendering R&D. Here's a bunch of spheres with LODs and stuff. Yeah. We're gonna get back to this. I've been working on a texture viewer and a screenshot API. So we can take screenshots now and compare slight subtle differences between textures. Yeah, it's proper nice. We're just working on better font rendering because this is horrible. We just fixed the theme. Yeah, it's a sphere LOD quad tree. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we're gonna be getting back into that after. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah. There's like a cluster of 4x4x4 set of spheres. And they fade in and out the LODs, but yeah, I'm not overly sure. Got some other ideas to think about. We're going to probably focus on working. We're going to probably focus on working on materials next and just making individual spheres actually look decent, and then get back into how I want to render spheres. Yeah, might go with some ellipses as well. And I expect them to not be locked to a grid. Yeah, there's kind of many spheres. It's just lots of little spheres. Right, so yeah, there's like a scale thing as well for pixel height. If we keep pixel height integer, then it means that it's easier to run a hash table, which ultimately what this thing is going to be. So pixel height. So realistically, if you can cram that into an integer, sorry, into a single uint, probably not. Probably U64 though. But yeah, you could probably cram that. So strut, and then probably U64 raw. See the raw bits. I'm thinking we can say, hey, this one only needs 4 bits or whatever. And hey, this one only needs 24 bits, and then this one can get. There's probably a whole bunch of free bits, but yeah, pixel height. I don't know, maybe do 16 bits, right? 64K. No one's gonna have a bigger screen than that. So something like that ought to be good enough, I reckon. Have some unused bits. Because, well, what's the biggest UTF-8 number again? It's like 10. FFFF, isn't it? So maybe we just need that many. Could you pack it? Well, it's a bit more than 16 bits. Yeah, you can't really pack it. U64 is fine. So we've got some unused bits. So 64, 32 decrement, 16 decrement, and then 4 decrement, 12. Cool. These are unused. Yeah, Jack, what have you been up to? You've been super busy, but what have you been busy with? Will you create a mesh between the small spheres? Why would I create like a triangle mesh? Or so they're already instances. Each one of these is an instance. The spheres are probably going to be offset a bit. So they're not in a grid. So they don't look like they're in a grid. Yeah. The idea is there's these volumes that get made. Yeah. I need to think about how I'm going to construct. Because I want to move to using a BVH again. And I need to think about how I want to change the creation process to support BVHs. Yeah. So I think this is reasonable. We could have like a something like a styled glyph or something. You have a styled glyph. And from the documentation, at least, you have a... There's no longer this pair, at least. But that is essentially your key. That gets hashed. And then your value... Wait, do you just want to just do a hash set? Have we got a hash set? No. I don't have a hash set. We can make one, though. It's quite easy. You just copy paste the hash table and get rid of the value part. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. Let's think about it first. So you need a hash. Deduplicate all font into 2 arrays. So we did a hash set. We can tell if it exists or not. So the hash set of this. Then you want an actual array, a contiguous array, because otherwise, so the hash set allows you to quickly find the value without searching across the whole array. So you waste memory for being able to index quicker and find an entry. Then this will be the actual deduplicated array. So I think you want something like that. Deduplicate all into 2 arrays. So there's also one for this frame. So there's a persistent set and there's a this frame set. These are the style glyphs that came across this frame. These are that's the hash set for it. So if we end up filling up the glyph texture in a frame. We then blow it all away, and then this frame becomes that one. And then we pack it all in from scratch again. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Right, I think we should take note of that. Don't want to call it a style glyph though. Yeah, then we need some arrays to know how to patch the draw glyphs, glyph words. So we need another structure. So there will be a glyph ID. Yeah, so this is a glyph to patch. So the glyph to patch basically needs a styled glyph. Then you want to patch, you want to draw word index, but it's actually to do with a layer as well. Draw layer, index, draw, word index, I guess. Something like that. So that's like 264-bit ints. So you need an array of things to patch. So glyphs to patch. Wait, why do you need 2 arrays again? Patch all the glyphs. So the ones, yeah, so, right, okay, they are both kind of this frame one. Maybe that's better wording. So these are saying the glyphs that are new this frame, here's all the glyphs that need to be patched. The ones that are new this frame. But if the glyphs have already been inside this hash set, then they go into this array as well. Oh, sorry, go into this array. And the ones that are new this frame go into both arrays. Yes. Okay, I think that's a good solution. Right. Let's talk about this plan. I think that's a good idea. Do I want to call this thing a style glyph though? I think that makes the most sense, right? It's got a font. It's got a pixel height and a glyph index. Okay, let's do it. Right, so I've been taking a look into how to pack these glyphs into the glyph cache. And there's the STB rectangle pack library. It does pretty much everything that we want, except for it doesn't have a way to sort of free the rectangles back out of the glyph cache. So I've been thinking about how I should tackle this problem. So it only allows you to keep packing more rectangles in. So if we fill up the rectangle, there's going to be, fill up the glyph cache, there's going to be a problem. So let's go over to the code. I've devised a plan, but let's go over the structures first. So there's going to be a thing called a styled glyph. This is a glyph index into the font with a certain pixel height and a font. So these are the things that we need to sort of render into the glyph cache and know if they exist in there or not. Then we have this glyph to patch. So every time we go and draw something using the UI draw API, we probably need to patch a styled glyph into there, a glyph ID which represents a position inside the glyph cache. From a styled glyph, we can then get that glyph ID and then patch it into the correct draw data, basically, which gets then sent to the GPU and rendered. So essentially, we've got some arrays here. There's going to be this styled glyphs hash set, which we haven't got a hash set yet, so we're going to make one of those. But the idea with this styled glyphs hash set is it will allow us to quickly check to see if the styled glyph is in the glyph cache. And then this styled glyphs array is basically all of the styled glyphs in a lovely array, and it's deduplicated. So it's just contiguous. This one is not contiguous. It has holes, it wastes memory, so we can quickly find the result. And glyphs to patch is all of the glyphs that we've tried to render this frame and ones that we need to patch. Now we've also got these sort of new ones this frame, which are the same as these. So we need to go, every time we go and draw some text, we need to check to see if, oh my days, I don't know how to explain this, it's so complicated. My brain. I need to, maybe I'll go over the, it's a lot to, maybe I'll go over this thing instead. It's impressive to see you control so much. Was it just from your head? Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of this is just like past experience where I have used this library in the past, but you can tell I've forgotten a lot about these things. But yeah, I just remembered how I've done it in the past and sort of like, I guess, but done it in a slightly different way, I imagine. But yeah, I need to take a quick break, and then I will come back and record up the next segment in the devlog. Right, I think I'll go over this list instead, and I'll say I got some data structures ready. All these bells and whistles, that's what we need. There we go. Right, I'll be right back, and then we'll go over this. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Text draw for each glyph. Cool. Right, let's go with this one instead. Okay, so no. Okay, so no. Right, so with this glyph cache, we need to pack rectangles into a texture, and each rectangle represents a glyph. So there's a nice library called recpack, stb recpack. The only issue with it though is it doesn't allow you to free rectangles, so we cannot simply start to fill up this glyph cache with glyphs and then free ones that are not on screen anymore. That just doesn't exist. The way you have to do it is you have to start again from scratch. So I've been thinking about how I can maybe approach this in this immediate mode UI renderer. So every single time we say UI text, it ends up calling UI text draw. Right away, it's a pure ImGUI setup, and we simply go over every single glyph, and then we draw the glyph out, and it records it into the draw command stuff. That was a very terrible way of saying it. Let's go again. It will happen. Right, so the problem with the glyph cache is we need to pack rectangles into the glyph cache itself, and each rectangle represents a glyph. And there's stb recpack here, and we can use this thing. It's got one problem though, and we can't free the rectangles. So the problem is we'll end up like adding more and more glyphs, and then it will just fill up, and then what do we do? So the way we have to solve this is we have to start from scratch again. So I've devised a plan, and just a bit of context, every time we do UI text or any other text gets drawn, it ends up calling into UI text draw. And this happens as soon as you try and place your widget down, right? We go over every single glyph inside that piece of text, and then we issue the draw, and that gets recorded into a nice array of draws, which then get uploaded to the GPU. So they will have to have some form of glyph ID, but they don't have to have it right away because we can patch this in later. So here's the plan. Whenever we do the text draw and do a for each glyph, we try to add it to the existing glyph cache somehow, probably using a hash set. And if this gets filled up, we mark it as we're going to blow this whole glyph cache away and start again. Then we're going to deduplicate this glyph that we're trying to render. It's a font plus pixel height plus glyph. So we're going to call this a styled glyph from now on, into two arrays. There's one array where all of the existing glyphs go into the glyph cache, and there's another one, it's just for the new ones that happened this frame. So if we blow it all away, right, we can then just swap out this ones that we've just made this frame, and that'll be the new one where that all exist in the glyph cache. So, but if we don't need to blow it all away, then we just retain this one that's the existing glyph cache hash set or whatever, right? So we deduplicate all of the glyphs into two separate arrays for two separate scenarios that can happen at the end of the frame. And we also store pointers to the array where the draw glyph ID needs to get put in at the end of the frame. And so we can patch. And again, we do the same thing as two separate arrays. So one is for all of the actual glyphs that get added, all of the glyphs for all glyphs that get drawn this frame, and the other one is just the new ones that have not made it into the glyph cache. So then at the end of the frame, right, if we're going to blow it all away, we're going to repack and render and deduplicate all the new styled glyphs into the glyph cache. And then if this fails, we'll just use missing glyphs for the rest of them that didn't make it in there. And then we'll patch all of the draw glyphs with the new glyph IDs into the glyph cache. Then if we didn't blow it all away, this is the cheap method, which happens all of the time basically. We render only the new styled glyphs into the glyph cache and upload only those ones to the GPU. And then we, so this is basically, this could be none, right? Depending on how your UI changes. And then we only patch the new draw glyphs with the actual glyph ID that represents a glyph inside the glyph cache. So the renderer can just look in that one texture and find exactly the glyph we're talking about. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Right, that was kind of a good take. It could have gone better, but hey, this thing's complicated. Okay, so I think we should talk about the internals. Yes. Okay, so here's the data structures for that. Here's our style glyph. It's basically a U64, but we're just using the bit fills here to make it easily understandable. It's got a glyph index in there, which is into the font. It's got a pixel height, and it's got a font in there as well, or an index, a font index is the enum here. And then we've also got this glyph to patch, and it's just basically that U64, that style glyph. And then it's got the draw layer, the draw glyph was on, and then this draw word index, and this would be where the glyph is basically stored, and we just patch in the glyph index, or sorry, the glyph ID, which represents a rectangle within the glyph cache. So the GPU can just easily find the UV coordinates and render those pixels. So here's basically the hash sets and the arrays of style glyphs and things to patch, and we've got two of them. One for all the new stuff this frame, and one's for all of them that stay persistent, basically. And if we need to blow them all away, these guys basically replace these guys, in a sense. Cool, so I don't have a hash set right now, so let's go and copy the hash table and make a hash set quickly. Maybe I'm not going to show that. I don't know. I've only shown that in the past. But yeah. So it should be quite... Have I not got a hash set? I thought I probably wouldn't need one, but I think I need one. Well, okay, I don't need one, but it'll just be way better. Cool, let's just replace those lowercase tables now. Those upper tables. And lower tables. And then we just get rid of all the values, and only keep the keys. I think I'm doing that right. I may have messed that up a bit, but oh well. Anything to do with key value? Right. Get rid of the V for value. Awesome. Thank you. Fish and chips is amazing. I used to get that like every Friday when I used to live with my parents. Good times. Fish and chips. I haven't had it for a while actually. Keep meaning to pick some up. But yeah, I think I just want to get this hash set done today at least, and then next time we can implement all of the implementation, that plan. Yeah, had a bit of a wrench in the gears when it came to that happening. Okay, so we're just getting rid of. Oh, we don't need an offset of there anymore. Offset of value, you don't need that anymore. Returns key, finds key. Right, so you need a find API, find or insert. So sometimes you just want to know if it exists or not. Sometimes you want to find and actually put it in there. If it's new out, okay, we need that. Right, I think that ought to be good enough for that. Now, what else is here? Right, so key compare, entry size. So when we use the word entry, I guess just call it entries now. So maybe key should just be called entry, but hash table. Maybe this could use the hash table. It's fun. Can just do some more type defs, no big deal. Entry size align, we'll keep that. Key should just be called entry. Or you could just call it keys. K key. Tartar sauce. Oh wow. You actually make it yourself. Interesting. You fry it and everything. Yeah, it is expensive these days, oil. It's a lot. Um, hmm. Keys. Right, entry size, key align, key. Now there is a value I just saw. We used to pass in value offsets so it could return the value pointer. But we don't need that anymore. Right, that's good. So all we have to do now is copy paste the hash table implementation. All right, it's not too much. Uh, cool. So let's sort out all these things. So table gets renamed to set. Sweet. Any uppercase tables? There's some internals that we missed. Right, back around again. So I need this. Hash set. Sweet. So we can close that internal now. Right, so back to renaming. Table for set now. There's probably a whole bunch of these. But yeah, you can do like a group select in that, but I forget how you do it in Vim. So I shall just carry on with my next and repeat last command. And we'll just carry on going all the way. Nearly there. Done. Right. So now I just need to modify anything that says key or entry to key, and then key we can go and rename everything or check everything in a minute. Right, and then something that's called entries needs to become keys. Ooh. Oh, that's the hash table one. Cool. Radio. Nearly there. So now we just have to replace the keys or entries. Keys. And then we can change all the allocation stuff and just sort it out. Or the extra function. Yeah, I just didn't save the file. That's fine. Cool. What else is? Yeah. So now there's duplicate stuff here, and value offset doesn't have to exist. There. Key size. That's fine on the remove. Right. Value offset goes away. Cool. So let's make sure it's all is. Let's check the implementation now. Right. Key size, key align, key compare, key hash. So those all go in. You used to take in, I used to be entries size, didn't it? So now it's just key size, yeah. So that's fine. This is all okay. So initialize is fine, it should deinitialize okay as well. We can do a find. We used to do something with the value at the end. We used to return a pointer to the value, but now we just return a pointer to the key. Then we find or insert. Same thing, but Yeah. Should return the key. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. That key there. Damn it, I'm shadowing. Oh well. I hate shadowing so much. Mem copy key. Have I used this yet? Oh no. The other one used to say entry, but I've renamed it to key now. Okay, so this one would be the found key. So compare the found key with the key that you've asked to search for, and then you return the found key pointer. So that's on the find. Whereas on the insert, if empty, this would be the insert key, mem copy to the insert key from the key, then return the insert key pointer. Not that there's much point to do that, but you can. Then this one should return as a found key. Found key. Then return the found key. Right, that's better. So then remove. Okay, that's good. That's all good. So that should be the hash table. Seems to have compiled. I don't want to record a thing. Right, so we want to define a few things, right? Core define, stacks. Right, do we want to stack for the... We just want to know if they've been there. Oh yeah, yeah, no, we do need an array of them. Do we need an array of... We only need an array for the new ones this frame, because the styled glyphs... Yeah, only for the new ones this frame, because once they've been rendered, it's okay. Yeah. So, you want an array of the styled glyph as well. And you also want a hash set. Sorry. So I've provided too many parameters here. Wait. Size of keys? Oh, it's got a pointer now. Whoops. Okay. Because it used to just be a structure when I copy and pasted it from the hash table one. It used to just be a structure with key value next to each other. So I used to do size of... Wait. That's a bug in it. We're crying out loud. What have I done? Entry size. Dref. Yeah. I could have done size of strut. Like that. Put that in there. That's the other way to do it. But equally deref of that. Yeah, I think that will work. Yeah, that's a bug fix. Do I even use a hash table in this code base yet? I know I made it at the start. Um, there's a hash table and the yeah, I don't know why that worked then. No, but I don't think I actually used it. I wrote test code. Obviously, I didn't test it well enough. Yeah. Right. Okay, well, I'm glad that's fixed. Does it compile? Right, apparently it compiles. So now we've added see, I wonder if you just need to find or insert. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to change the pointer or the data because it's a key now, isn't it? It should maybe return a const pointer to it, but like so what are you trying to do with this? With a hash set, you're trying to find a value and see if it exists. And that's it. The pointer to it basically is nonsense because if you have a key, yeah, it's basically nonsense. It used to return a pointer to the value, which makes more sense for a hash table, but not a hash set. Now, the find or insert, you're trying to find it, if not put it in there. And again, that used to return a pointer to the value. So realistically, this is probably better off if we just changed it. I mean, you can also remove and it would, yeah. So returns true if you inserted a value. Yeah. So remove that pointer. Those two are just changed to booleans, won't it? So let's open up that core. Set find returns a boolean. So it's an infinite loop here, right? So this should return false. We didn't find it. This should return true. Cool, that's sorted out. This one should return a boolean. So it is new, no longer gets set. So because it's new, we inserted a new one, we simply return true. Here we found an existing. So we found an existing key. So we're going to return false. That's it. Cool. I actually like that one. Good. So I guess right. Compiles, right? One to my internal UI header. Sweet. Okay, so we've now copied and pasted the hash table, made a hash set. It's basically the same thing, but it just doesn't have a value, just stores a bunch of keys. So we can quickly deduplicate a bunch of keys. So now we code generate a hash set for a style glyph, a stack for a style glyph, and a stack for a glyph to patch. So yeah, there's the collection. So now we've got those, we can then move on to actually implementing this glyph caching and nearly there. One more time. Right, so now I made the hash set. It's basically a copy and paste of the hash table without the value and some slight tweaks because it's basically used to check if something exists or not. So now we've made some called these macros to code generate a hash set for a style glyph and a growable array or a stack for a style glyph and for a glyph to patch. So now we've got all the data structures ready. We can now implement the glyph caching code in the UI internals. Cool, and this is about as far as I'm going to go today with this because it's getting late and I should be rolling in bed at some point. So let's record an outro. Yeah, so what should I do? Should I make this one into a devlog since it was basically me? Okay, I was changing the theming and font rendering. So I've changed the theme and font rendering. I think so. Yeah, if not, otherwise the next devlog will be too big. NVIDIA Windows driver is trash. Decided to play with a custom Vulkan allocator. NVIDIA programmers decided to allocate 6289 for Vulkan instance, and then VK device returned extension not present. Good luck finding bugs. Wait, 628? Like an odd number of bytes? Why an odd number of bytes? Oh, for small allocations in general. Hmm. That's a lot of allocations. Yeah. I don't know. I think they just expect you, the user, to just, you know, have a bump allocator for that thing. Basically. Like the user, I guess. Yeah, I guess you would just bump allocate it based on it, the fact that it's yeah, it's interesting. Like you could basically pass that to a static. But they free too. Interesting, they free? Oh great. I forget the Vulkan allocation interface. It's got like 5 of them, isn't it? Alloc free, realloc, system reserved memory, and system unreserved memory, or something like this. And those system ones are just to tell you that they've allocated some memory on the system, and it's just like you know, no, it's done it. No, not VMA. Damn VMA. VMA. Realloc is not size for some reason. Oh, there's no old size. Passes you, reads past you the memory address. Yeah. Yeah, so basically forces you into bundling the data alongside the allocation, doesn't it? User include Vulkan, Vulkan core. Allocated callbacks. These are the boys. Yeah, so the realloc is basically a malloc. Wait. Yeah, original pointer size alignment, but there's no old size for some reason. And then free is like, hey, here's the memory. Yeah, so they expect you to bookkeep the old size. Oh yeah, do that. It'd be interesting. Thank you. Yeah, and this one is like, hey, we're letting you know that we've allocated some memory on the system, but we're just letting you know, by the way. But the interesting thing is it does have allocation type and allocation scope. So what does that do? Oh, executable. Great. Just another single command object cache device instance. But yeah, again, this one, oh. So I guess you could, so you can use this allocation scope to know what allocator you use. So you can say, hey, this is one for an instance, so basically it's static memory. This one is per device, so basically static memory unless you're doing multiple GPU or whatever. This one, cache, I imagine, I don't know what lifetime that would need. I'd have to look that one up. Object as well, that one probably needs like a, probably like a global allocation, you know, global allocator style. Command could probably be quite really short-lived actually, just for the submit, the frame. Right, but yeah, at least we've got these to help with that. At least we've got these. But yeah, it could be better. Right, pipeline cache. Not sure if anyone really uses that anyway, because the driver does that for you these days. Yeah, pipeline cache is basically only for Valve. You know, it's quite, you know, Valve sends the pipeline cache to everyone. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Vulkan is a piece of work. One on the right one, I know. Right. Let's record the outro. Alright, so that does it for this devlog. So, you know, we managed to at least devise a plan for how we want to do this text rendering, and we've sorted out that terrible theme. So in the next devlog, we'll finish up, hopefully, on the text rendering. So if you want to catch the devlog, okay, one more time. Right, so that does it for this devlog, guys. Thank you so much for watching. So this is day 118. If you want to catch that on the VOD channel, it's on that YouTube VOD channel, which you'll see in a moment. But I'm happy that we at least got the plan devised and sorted out that terrible theme. So in the next devlog, we'll actually hopefully finish the font rendering. So the VOD channel is there. We're going to catch it on YouTube. Also, you can check out the Twitch link there if you want to see the full schedule in your time zone, if you want to tune in live. There's also the Discord link down below if you want to come and hang out and chat outside of the devlogs and streams. And for those who want to get source code access, you can support via Ko-Fi or Twitch and get access to that there. So right, thank you guys, catch you later. Right, that'll do. Yeah, guys, so links, YouTube, that's where we post devlogs. You're going to catch a short version of the stream. Long version of the stream is posted up here, basically right away, after it's finished processing into HD. Discord, and yeah, that's that's about it for links. I'll next be on Sunday, 6:30. Oh, about 6 p.m. GMT plus 1, and that's when hopefully we'll finish off this text rendering, and it'll be far better. Something that we'll probably keep on using, for user interface text rendering. World space text rendering will probably be different. No worries, thank you guys, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's find something very quick. Then I'm gonna go downstairs and watch some Planet of the Apes. War of the Planet of the Apes, that one. The one before the one that's in the cinema now. And probably exercise a bit as well. Right. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Planet of the Apes. The cinema, not this Friday, the Friday after. But I've got to finish the previous film because I didn't watch it. Right, let's raid the Jai guy. Eh. Ooh, right. I'm gonna go and exercise. See you all later. Much love. Bye bye.